Very good morning. My name is Dr. T. Milton, Professor and Dean, Tourism and Hospitality Management, Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research, Chennai. Today, we are going to see BSc Catering Science and Hotel Management, final year Front Office Management, Accommodation Management and Aspects. Let's see the topics in that. Accommodation Management Aspects, effective use of SOPs in Front Office Department, establishing standards, monitoring performance, tariff decisions, cost and pricing, Hubert formula, rule of thumb approach, marginal and contribution pricing, occupancy and revenue reports, equipment management maintenance. The effective use of SOPs in Front Office Department. What is meant by SOP? Standard Operating Procedure. What is Standard Operating Procedure? It is a set of written instructions that a document or a routine or repetitive activity followed by a hotel. SOP helps in maintaining quality and consistency of service and standards in the hotel. In short, when a hotel management student enters the five-star hotel for a training purpose, when he goes for housekeeping training, the housekeeping assistant of the hotel will try to train him. When you are doing a room cleaning, you have to enter this way. From left to right, you have to clean. From top to bottom, you have to clean. So you cannot zigzagly move in this place. Once you clean a place, you should not touch it so that it might become dirty. Like that, there are certain rules and regulations. When you try to follow the standard operating procedures in a hotel for a trainee student or employee, the time taken to do a duty will be reduced. It will be more efficient, more accurate, more safety, and professionality will be maintained. That's a standard will be maintained. For that only, we have to adopt the standard operating procedures in the hotel. A hotel SOP protects your staff, your guests, and your business by structuring your operations for efficiency, accuracy, safety, and consistency. In any hotel, common procedures occur in sequence. They are linear. In addition, some procedures also repeat over time. The organization needs to find out such linear and repeating procedures to compile them into sets of SOPs. These procedures, when compiled step by step, can prove to be an excellent learning material for training the newly joined staff in a short period of time. So, irrespective of accommodation department or a front office department where a new student wants to train in a quickest time, he has to learn about the SOPs, or otherwise called as standard operating procedures. So this is very, very important for a student to be a professional employee in a hotel. Few SOPs followed in the front office department. Standard operating procedure for handling guest baggage. Handling luggage on guest arrival. So when a guest comes, the bellboy has to take care of the luggage of the guest. On arrival of the guest, he has to do certain procedures. Let us see what all the SOPs a bellboy has to do when handling luggage on guest arrival. As a bellboy, look for a new arrival of a guest. As a bellboy, I need to keep looking for the arrival of a guest. The guest vehicle stops at the hotel entrance. Go ahead and open the vehicle door. Greet the guest. Welcome to hotel. You have to tell your hotel name. It can be Taj Hotel or Oberoi Hotel. So if it is a Taj Hotel, welcome to Taj Hotel. I am Mr. Henry. Do you need any help with your luggage, sir? Like that, you have to request the guest. Help the elderly and disabled guest to get out of the vehicle if required. Take the luggage in charge and ensure that nothing is left in the vehicle. Ask the guest name politely as you may may I know your name, sir, madam? Like that, you need to ask. Tag the luggage with the guest name. Ask if anything fragile or perishable is in the luggage. Add this information on the luggage tag. What is the information? If you think that is a fragile a glass or a perishable food item is there in the luggage, you have to write fragile item, handle with care, HWC, or a fruit which is perishable. Then you have to write perishable item, handle with care. Like that, you need to mention. Inform the guest that the luggage is with you. Escort the guest to the hotel reception. Inform the guest that will be taking care of their luggage. Write the accommodation number, that is your room number, on the luggage tag. The guest room number should be written on the luggage tag. Confirm if the guest registration formality is complete. If the room is ready, take the luggage to the room by the staff elevator. If the room is not ready, then take the luggage to the storeroom. Record the luggage details into the luggage register. SOP for controlling guest room keys. The front office staff needs to manage at least 2 sets of keys. Giving accommodation key to the guest, request for guest last name and accommodation number. Accommodation number here means the room number, guest room number. Check the information told by the guest against the one recorded in PMS. If there is any deviation, request the guest to provide photo ID card. Do not give the accommodation key without proper authentication. Someone is coming and asking, I want this room number of guest room key. So you need to ask them, sir, may I have your identification? Like that, you need to ask, then you need to proceed. If the doubt about the guest arises and the guest refuses to cooperate, then inform the front office manager immediately, because guest room key is very, very important. In case if you are going to give the guest room key to someone else instead of the guest, he might try to steal something and the guest might suffer from that. If any other superior front office member recognizes the guest, then he can give away the duplicate key. If the guest has lost the key and needs a new one, then ascertain that the guest has lost it. In the above case, program a new key with the same code. Present the newly created key to the guest. You must not issue accommodation keys to any person that claims to be sent by the guest for getting the keys. This is very important. Yet, we can give them to a non-guest if the guest has sent the person with a written authority letter addressed to the front office team. In such case, confirm calling the guest and accompany the non-guest to the accommodation. So, this is very important while controlling the guest room keys in a Star Hotel. Establishing standards. Establishment and maintenance of standards. The basis for the operation of any front office section is the establishment of a set of standards which will be particular to an operation. Unless standards are set, no employee would know in detail the standards to be achieved, nor could the employee's performance be effectively measured by the management. While establishing a standard, you need to understand these standards are established for the betterment of the employee of the hotel. The management will try to assess the performance of the employee when you establish proper standards in the hotel. The management would have set SOPs, that is your standard operational procedures, which should be readily available to all staff for reference. Everyone should try to know that very clearly, not only know that, they should try to follow it very strictly, then only you can have a standard in the hotel. This can be aided by regularly checking on the standards achieved by observation and analysis and by comments made by the customers, and when necessary, conducting training courses to re-establish the standards. Very often, even the senior most employee who's got service of 20 years also should try to undergo training courses to have these standards to be re-established. Attending the training courses enables you to follow the set of the new standards, and that will help the hotel to go in a higher range. Monitoring performance. Monitoring involves the continuous measuring of performance and providing feedback on progress towards the goals. By monitoring the front office staff continuously, the manager or supervisor can correct in case of suboptimal performance rather than finding this out at the end of the year and it is too late. For example, when you see an employee is not following the set SOPs, definitely due to this, the hotel will suffer, even the guests, customers also will suffer. So that's the reason the manager or supervisor once in a while has to clearly check the performance, monitor the performance of the staff so that they do not deviate from the SOPs. Tariff decisions. Tariff is room rate. Tariff means rate. Here we are talking about the hotel management. For us, tariff means it means room rate. Tariff is the rate or charges offered to the guest by the hotel for the use of different facilities and services during the stay. Commonly, tariff is a charge of room rates and other facilities. Tariff is a charge of the room rates and other facilities, and tariff and room charges may include meal or breakfast depending upon the plan as per the guest choices. Prices of the hotel services are incorporated in the card known as tariff card. So when you think of the plan, there are different types of plan. You have European plan, you have continental plan, you have American plan, modified American plan. These are the meal plans which comes along with the room tariff. Basis of charging room rates. The sale of rooms contributes more than 50% of the total revenue generated in the hotel. Rooms are charged on the following basis. Please do understand, in a star hotel, through rooms only we try to get the major revenue. So selling a room is very, very important. When you try to sell a room, you need to know the room rates. And when you are selling the room rates, you need to know the various different types of room rates and basis of charging. Also, the 24-hour basis of room charging. In 24-hour basis, the room is charged for the stay of 24 hours. If the guest arrives at 9 a.m. today, the room charges will cover until 9 a.m. tomorrow. No concession will be given if the guest leaves 3 hours earlier. Her hotel day begins at 9 a.m. every subsequent day. There is not any fixed time for check-in and check-out for this 24-hour basis. The 12 noon. A particular time of a day is fixed, mostly 12 noon as a check-in and check-out time for all the guests. The hotel day begins at this time. This method is advantageous that a room can be sold twice in a same day. For example, Mr. A arrives at 12 noon and checks out early. After a few hours, Mr. Y arrives and is provided the same room. He is also charged the whole day. So understand, 12-hour noon rate. Okay. The nightly basis. Here the charge is fixed according to the night spent in the hotel. If a guest stays from 10 a.m. until 6 a.m. the next day, the guest is charged for one night or a day. Rack rate tariff structure. When it comes to setting prices for rooms, establishing the highest rate is important. This rate is called the rack rate, and it is from a maximum price that all other rates take the lead. Rate will apply to every room in a hotel. With the rack rate setting, it is essential to apply a different rate to each room category. Otherwise, occupancy and therefore revenue could be adversely affected. So see to that you are setting the rate properly, or else revenue will be affected. When setting rack rate, the hotel will consider key determinants such as current and forecasted occupancy, deals, contracts with corporate clients, etc., and any seasonal or out of season offers and discounts. I told you there are three different seasons, which is peak season, where you have occupancy 90%, 100% of rooms will be occupied, and off season, you have 20 to 30% of rooms only will be booked, where you have to give more discount in this off season. Your shoulder season, which is in between your off season, peak season, where 50 to 60% occupancy will be there. It can then set a rack rate that will ensure revenue is always maximized. Hotels always have more than one rate code category for each room type. Room rates categories generally correspond to types of rooms available to sell in the hotel. You have examples: suite room, deluxe room, premier suite room, studio room, penthouse, etc. These are the different types of rooms in the hotel. Based on the guest wants, preferences, and likes, you have to sell these types of room rates. Being a front office or accommodation personnel, the employee should try to know the different types of room rates available in the hotel. Corporate or commercial rate. These are rates offered to companies that provide frequent business for the hotel or its chain. This rate may vary according to the volume of the business guaranteed by the companies. Example, maybe one, corporate one, etc. Depends. Group rate. These are rates which is offered to groups, meetings, and conventions using the hotel for their functions. So groups, when they are using our hotel for group meetings, groups, conventions, seminars, you will have a group rate that has to be taken into consideration with proper discounts too. Incentive rate. The rate offered to individuals who belong to an association or holders of special membership cards or credit cards. Example, Amex, Visa, MasterCard. These card holders will get 5% discount on rack rate. For example, Lufthansa frequent flyer members can get up to 25% discount as per the hotel's policy. For hotels, these rates always give potential referral business. So when they are getting this referral business, they are trying to give a discount so that there is a continuous demand from this type of companies. Package rate. Rates that includes a guest room in combination with other available events or activities. Example, Best of London package, which includes room rental, all meals, sightseeing, airport transfers, etc. This is a type of package, London package. Package rate can also be a simple room and meal package like American plan AP, modified American plan MAP, etc. So meal plan, you have to understand what is the meal plan. Room rate plus food given is called your meal plan. So usually in European meal plan, so European plan, only room rate or room tariff is charged. No food is given, breakfast, lunch, dinner, nothing is given. Then you have continental plan where room rate plus continental breakfast is provided to the guest. Then you have American plan where all the three meals are served to the guest as per the meal plan along with the room tariff. Modified American plan is another type of meal plan along with the room tariff, breakfast, and either lunch or dinner is provided to the guest based on the guest preference. Honeymoon packages floated by some resorts attract business during the winters. Example, in Missouri, packages are prepaid usually for the full amount and refunds are not allowed. The families on holiday prefer such packages which range from 2 to 4 nights and can be extended on pro-rate basis. That is about package rate. Airline rate, there is a special airline rate given by the hotels to the airline crew. A rate which is negotiated between an airline and a hotel based on the volume of business the hotel is expected to get from the airline. Also applies to the layovers of that. day rate. This rate is charged when a guest arrives at around 9 a.m. and would stay only for a few hours till about 3 p.m. Hotels only sell nights, and hence this special day rate is charged, which is sometimes 50% to 60% of the regular rack rate. For example, when a guest from Delhi comes to Chennai to attend a conference, it is a half-day conference. The conference is between 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock. So he comes at 7:30 in the morning to the hotel, check-ins, and attends the conference at 1 o'clock, has lunch, and 2 o'clock, he just leaves the hotel. So for him, this special day rate is given for that type of guest, and usually hotels near airport, they try to offer this type of day rate. Off-day rate charge for resident guests who want an extension in the checkout or departure time of 12 noon. For example, if a guest wants to keep the room till 6 p.m., a half rate is charged, which is 50% of the room rate he is already paying. However, at the discretion of the lobby manager and front office manager, such a charge may be even waived off for guests who are regularly coming to the hotel also. Travel agent rate, a rate which is offered by the hotel when a guest books via a travel agent. This rate is offered on condition of the travel agent providing regular business to the hotel. When a travel agent gives the hotel a regular business, we need to give him a special rate. This special rate is called the travel agent rate. Cost and pricing. Cost-based pricing is a room rate rent determination technique that covers the basic cost of operations at a given level of service plus the predetermined percentage of return on investment. It involves the determination of total cost, that is your fixed cost plus various variable cost associated with your hotel. Managers add a desired profit margin to each unit, such as 5 to 10% margin. The goal of cost-oriented approach is to cover all costs incurred in producing or delivering the products or services and to achieve a targeted level of profit. Selling price is equal to total cost plus fixed profit percentage. Okay. What are the merits about this? It is a simple method, does not involve examining the market or considering the competition and other factors that might have an impact on pricing. Popular method as it uses internal information that managers can easily obtain. The following are the two widely used cost-based pricing technique. One is called rule of thumb approach. Another is Hubbard formula. Let us see what is meant by rule of thumb approach. This is a oldest traditional method of determining a room rate of a new hotel. When you are building a new hotel, you need to fix the room rate or room tariff. How will you fix it? Usually you'll go to the competitors, see what is the price. We'll try to increase a bit or decrease a bit. But here, this rule of thumb approach, they try to follow a old method. Let's see that. This rule of thumb approach sets the rate of $1 is to $1,000. The ratio is 1 is to 1,000. Here we can say call is 1 is to 1,000. Okay. The simple idea is, if you are constructing a hotel room for 1,000 rupees, your per day room rate tariff should be 1 rupee. You all know that in 1,000 rupees you cannot build a room in a 5-star hotel. So you have to see to that. If it is 1,000 rupees, it is 1 rupee. If it is 10,000 rupees, it is 10 rupees. If it is 1 lakh, it is 100 rupees. Okay. If it is 10 lakhs, then as per the ratio, 1,000 rupees, like that. So construction and furnishing cost per room, assuming a 70% occupancy. So this is the approach. For example, a hotel ABC incurs a total expenditure of 15 lakhs on your room. So the room rate will be rupees 15,000. This approach is not having a proper method. So this approach fails to consider the effects of inflation. It also fails to consider the contribution of other facilities and services towards the hotel's desired profitability. This method sets the rate of room at rupees 1 for each rupees 1,000 of construction furnishings we already season. And for example, if the construction cost is 80,000, this room rate will be 80 rupees according to this method. Here, as I already told you, the facilities and services are not counted. The rule of thumb approach should also consider the hotel's actual occupancy level instead of a fixed 70% occupancy. Consumers profile. It is important to keep in mind the social and financial status of the guest, that is, paying capacity of the guest in mind. That you have to keep in mind, and based on that. The another method of cost price technique is your Hubbard formula. This is the standard method. Most of the hotels in the globe try to use this method. The Hubbard formula is a formula that can be used in hotel management for fixing the room tariff. It is used to determine the proper average rate to set for rooms in a given hotel. The Hubbard formula is used to help with the setting prices. It can be expressed as a formula: operating expenses plus desired return on investment minus other income by projected room nights will give you the room rate for your hotel. As hotels see a constant increase in competition, they are forced to try and compete with other big name companies by providing better quality rooms or lower prices. In order to offer these lower prices, the Hubbard formula is used to reduce these prices. So what are the advantages of Hubbard formula? Systematic method of determining optimal average. So you are trying to take all the factors before pricing a room. Unlike your rule of thumb approach, only the construction costs and furnishing costs you are taking, you are not taking about facilities and other costs. Forecast the desired return for any period of time. It takes into account the revenue accrued from non-room departments. Allows the manager to price in things like non-operating expenses. Calculating room rates using the Hubbard formula. Calculate the desired profit. So desired profit is equal to owner's investment into ROI. Calculate pre-tax profits. Pre-tax profit is the net income by 1 minus tax rate. Calculating fixed charges and management fees, depreciation plus interest plus expense plus property taxes plus insurance plus building mortgage plus land plus rent and plus management fees. All these factors we are taking in our board, whereas we are not even mentioning in the rule of thumb approach. Calculate undistributed operating expenses, administrative plus information technology, human resources plus transportation, marketing, property, operation, maintenance, energy costs. All these costs are evenly seen and it is calculated. Estimate non-room operator department profit by loss, food and beverage cost and income plus telephone income. Calculate required rooms department income, the sum of pre-tax profit, that is step 2. Fixed charges and management fees, step 3. Undistributed operating expenses, step 4. And other operator department income, step 5, equals the required rooms department income. Determine rooms department revenue. Required rooms department income plus rooms department expenses of payroll and related expenses plus other direct operating expenses. How will you calculate the average daily rate, ADR in short form? Divide rooms department by revenue by the expected rooms sold to calculate your ADR. Marginal contribution pricing. Contribution is the difference between sales and marginal cost, and it is used to recover the fixed costs first. When a business manufactures more than one product, the computation of profit realized on individual products may be difficult due to the problem of apportionment of fixed costs to different products. Contribution margin is based on the principle of extent of contribution the revenue item makes to the total profit. It recognizes that to earn revenues, both fixed and variable costs will be incurred. However, a change in revenue or sales quantity will only affect the variable cost. Fixed costs, as you know, that it will remain unchanged irrespective of the sales or revenue quantity. You know that, for example, rent. You have to pay a rent for your hotel. It is going to remain the same all the months. So contribution margin takes into account only those costs which move with business volume and variable cost. Its premise is that deducting variable costs from revenues you get an indication of what bottom line is, which is relevant to business volume. This is also the reason why fixed costs do not feature in the contribution margin calculation. Occupancy and revenue reports. The occupancy report is an average projection report which estimates performance based on availability. It provides a detailed monthly overview of item availability, number of bookings, unbooked availability, average occupancy, and few data points related to average revenue and actual revenue. The occupancy report provides a historical report of occupancy by room during a specific date range. This report is typically used to analyze past occupancy percentage, ADR, RevPAR by room. There is 1 year date range limit. Reports can be run for 1 year at a time, starting on any date you choose, that is past or future, but will be limited to 1 year. Occupancy report rules. The room revenue, ADR, and RevPAR is calculated, and actual income of past bookings calculated from rent postings on the folio for the bookings charged, that is real room rent postings rather than how the booking was sold. Bear in this mind, this will render the occupancy report financial to zero for running in the future or even current. Occupancy rate. So number of occupied rooms by total number of available rooms, the formula usually you will use to compute the occupancy rate. So for example, if your hotel has 220 rooms and 210 rooms are occupied, so 210 by 220 is equal to 0.95, that is 95% is your occupancy rate. Areas in a hotel that generate revenue are revenue in hotels is generated from room rate rentals, food and beverage sales, and meeting room rentals. So occupancy and room rate. So the two factors that determine how much revenue a hotel earns from its rooms or from occupancy and average daily rate. So from social media also you can know that discounts, package, food and beverage, these all things you also will be knowing. And I'll just show the equipment maintenance management. Hotel maintenance management is crucial for hotels as business. Supervising the physical hotel facility as well as the systems within it can be challenging. The key to managing all is planning, and doing so with maintenance management makes it easy to maintain equipment. Hotel maintenance is upkeep of various systems and components used in the hospitality industry. These systems include general building operations such as HVAC, electrical, and plumbing, but also many needs specific to hotels and the customers. These specific needs are widely varied, and their scope depends on the size of the hotel and the services they offer. Hotel maintenance may include upkeep of refrigeration, elevators, cable TV, phone lines, personal computers, room furnishing, lighting features, and all other electrical equipments and gadgets. This wide scope of maintenance needs requires a large breadth of expertise from hotel maintenance tools. It also means that maintenance planning is crucial for hotel success. Places that use hotel maintenance management are the hospitality includes several types of hotels, all of which have their own maintenance needs. For example, hotels, it needs a wide variety of maintenance work, including heating, cooling, plumbing, lighting, groundskeeping, electronic equipment, and myriad others. Service apartments also need maintenance management. Residential hotels offer longer stay times, and the maintenance needs tend to resemble those of apartments rather than hotels. Even so, the maintenance needs are still quite varied. Resorts located in remote locations have unique maintenance needs. Often, they need to supply their own electricity, water, and waste disposal, all while keeping up on the additional features they offer. Examples of extra features include golf courses, skiing, and swimming. Timeshare rentals. Renters purchase accommodation for a certain period of time each year, and they are often responsible for funding some of the maintenance of the property. Casino hotels, where gambling is main. Casinos provide lodgings as a secondary function to the primary means of business. These lodgings require just as much upkeep as their hotels. In addition, the machines and food service areas on the property also require consistent maintenance. So different types of equipment maintenance generally follow in the hotel industry include the following: routine maintenance. So every day you need to maintain that. Preventive maintenance. So once in a while you check so that no contingency emergency happens to the equipment. Scheduled maintenance. Every 3 months, someone will come and check it and write in the card. That's called scheduled maintenance. Emergency and breakdown maintenance. In spite of all these things, sometimes they are due to emergency. Your equipments might or plants might become repair and faulty. May not work. At that time, you have to do this emergency and breakdown maintenance. And this is the room rates. I want to show you per day VVIP suite and only under suite room, junior suite room, standard room. Okay, sofa cum bed. What is the rate? You can see that admission kit, kettle, safe deposit, LCD TV, attached bathroom, mini fridge, complimentary vanity. For all these things, all these rates are given here for your understanding and information. Thank you. We will see in the next class.